I am an advocate of letting people prove their salt. Everyone should be given a chance to prove their claim, which is what society has done. All the protests and shouts about the wage gap, equal shots at opportunities, and women in top positions have been considered. I believe there are more women in strategic and top political positions than at any time in the world. However, the issue is that women have been tested based on their claims and still need to meet the standard. After women have been given enough opportunities, just like men, we have been able to pull statistics that the majority of women can't deliver when given the opportunities they wrestle for. Several big companies have laid off women in droves because they are just better off with the men. It is more cost, less output from the women. The way it is with modern dating. Many companies discovered that there was not much success having women on teams who cannot do what they are paid for effectively. That's the first debunking of the wage gap and equal pay. Men are paid based on what they offer, and women want to be paid because they think they are equal to men, not because they have the same work rate or level of productivity as men.
If companies can pay women less,
Yes.
why don't they hire all women?
Well, that's a whole nother story.
Really?
I understand your argument, and I understand that you're angry.
I'm not angry.
I
no,
can
no.
hear it in your voice. Listen
not
to your
angry.
voice.
I'm hearing
Now
my voice and I sound pretty calm.
You have now shifted the quality of your voice, and I thank you for that.
Okay.
And you've just given me a condescending look, and that's another reason why we need feminism. And now I'm done, and thank you so much.
If I was a man, and I'm not a man, but if I was a man, I wouldn't hire a woman. I wouldn't do it. And I say it all the time, and I say that, and that is something that women need to consider when they're talking about this stuff. When you are saying that a man complimenting you and saying, I really like your outfit today, is a form of sexism. If you're a man, why hire a woman, right? So you fought all this time to be able to get into the workforce, only to say these are going to be the rules. You know, if you say anything, even if you compliment me, if you look at me, anything, I'm going to have a reason to fight you. And by the way, you're going to want to settle and pay me because even just the stain of an accusation is enough to ruin men. So if you're a guy, right, in this society, in this Me Too environment, in this litigation-rich environment of misogyny and sexism and all of these claims, what is the value add? What's the risk? You know, the benefit and the risk. I can't do the analysis and say, I'd just be like, no, I'm just not hiring anyone. Give me all the men.
Some CEOs have observed that female workers often stick strictly to their assigned tasks without proactively addressing broader project needs. In contrast, men tend to do whatever it takes to make the project successful. This perception has led some companies to rethink their approach to hiring more women, with the belief that men may be more willing to go the extra mile, while women might only do what's necessary to get paid. Now, things got even more complex with the advent of the Me Too movement. Originally intended to address and prevent workplace harassment, the movement has caused significant concern among some male employees. The Me Too movement should have been a force for good, but it spiraled out of control and has become an all-out war against men. Women are aware that they can exploit it to target male bosses and colleagues. It only takes one baseless claim to ruin a man's career. Men can't express themselves anymore without fear. Smile at a woman at work and you're labeled a creep. Push her to achieve her best and suddenly you're a misogynist and a sexist. This has gone too far. This fear has created an environment where men at all professional levels, including managers, supervisors, co-workers, and even business owners, are avoiding interactions with female colleagues to safeguard their careers. The concern of false accusations has made men more cautious, and this caution can significantly affect workplace dynamics and productivity. In some industries, a significant majority of women report experiencing sexual harassment, which indicates that only a few men are safe. Some modern women argue that male-dominated decision-making and limited female autonomy contribute to such harassment. This means that managers need to be especially cautious about their decisions and interactions with female employees. Despite these concerns, many companies remain dissatisfied with the performance quality of female employees. But this dissatisfaction can lead to potential accusations of sexism if companies favor male workers for certain roles.
I got fired from a job that I burned myself out for, and my biggest fear was getting fired. I was doing everything to avoid the exact thing that happened because I forgot that it was a transactional relationship. They didn't owe me anything beyond my pay, and I agreed to that. Yet somehow I lost sight of that along the way. They didn't say, hey, we guarantee you a job if you become an unrecognizable version of yourself and skip sleep and exercise and think about work 24/7. They didn't promise me a forever if I put work above relationships. I wasn't required to miss out on the moments that matter most in my life to secure a spot at the company. They didn't have to keep me. They never did. I was so mad, like, how could they have done this to me after I've done so much for them? But the joke was on me. I thought that if I gave 110% every single day of my life that they should too, but that just was never a part of the agreement. Are you losing yourself to a job that'll never give you half the amount that you're giving them? Because that sounds like a pretty shitty deal.
Now, this is just one of the issues surrounding hiring women, but another major issue is having women become bosses. 65% of employees don't want to work with female bosses. For women, 80% of them don't want to work for or under women across all industries or positions. In Singapore, for example, 76% of employees prefer a male boss. This is much higher than the global average of 65%. This is why female bosses who know what they are doing don't want to promote or hire women. You could blame men for being misogynistic, but what would you call a woman who is aware that, placing gender biases apart, a woman can't deliver the same output under the same conditions as men? Some women call it women-to-women abuse, instigating that it is the reason why men are getting to the top across careers better and faster than women. But a woman who has struggled to build her company or get to a top position would not like to take chances with her career or life goals because she wants to support her gender. Yes, female bosses are more difficult to work with than male bosses. Since I have a uterus, I'm expected to write that women are better than men, but I have never encountered a competent woman in management. Sorry, but men are much easier to work with than female bosses. Men are more logical and solution-focused. Unfortunately, women are much better outside management, since most women love to create drama and other nonsensical problems. In my experience, my male bosses have been more understanding and willing to help. Women bosses have had a my way or the highway complex and will insult you as opposed to train you. Women bosses also tend to micromanage petty tasks but ignore serious issues. The worst male boss I've had didn't even come close to the worst female boss I've had. I'm male, but my wife says the same thing. This all goes back to the fact that women don't make good bosses, and having more women going up those positions might be terrible advice for the establishments. The internet is full of people sharing their experiences, both male and female. I did not cook it up. Female bosses always want to prove a point, which makes taking advice or criticism difficult for them. Having another idea separate from theirs is simply rebellion and challenging their leadership capabilities. All of this simply leads to poor teamwork and poor relationships between the boss and the people who get their hands dirty, and in turn, poor productivity for the business. That's all for today on Manhood. You might also like my previous videos. Don't forget to hit that like button, click the subscribe button, and turn on the notification bell to be the first to know when I drop a new video. Share this video with whoever you would like to watch it. Thanks for watching.